In a small village, Nigeria, there lived a woman named Chioma. She was well loved, known for her kindness and beauty. Chioma was married to Emeka, a respected hunter who provided for his family with dedication and love. Together, they lived a peaceful life, blessed with a young son named Ifeanyi. But beneath the surface of this seemingly perfect life, jealousy brewed. Emeka had a younger brother, Chinedu, who was consumed by envy. Chinedu coveted everything his brother had, his strength, his success, and most of all, his beautiful wife, Chioma. Despite being family, Chinedu's jealousy festered like a wound, growing more poisonous with each passing day. One fateful night, as Emeka ventured deep into the forest for a hunt, Chinedu followed in the shadows. Under the cover of darkness, Chinedu confronted his brother. They argued, Chinedu accusing Emeka of stealing the life he deserved. In a fit of rage, Chinedu struck Emeka with a heavy stone, killing him instantly. Panicked, he dragged the body into a nearby cave, where wild animals would find and devour the evidence. He returned to the village, hoping his crime would go unnoticed. The next morning, when Emeka did not return, the villagers grew concerned. A search party was formed, and after hours of searching, they found his mangled body in the forest. The sight of the once powerful hunter, now lifeless and broken, sent shockwaves through the village. Grief turned to suspicion as rumors began to spread. Whispers of foul play filled the air, and soon, eyes turned to Chioma. Some believed she had grown tired of her husband, others claimed she had taken a lover, and now sought to rid herself of Emeka. The village elders, swayed by these rumors, decided that Chioma must prove her innocence in the most horrifying way. They decreed that she must sleep beside her husband's corpse for 3 nights. The elders claimed that if Chioma was innocent, the spirits would protect her. But if she had any hand in Emeka's death, his restless spirit would exact its revenge. Chioma was horrified by the verdict but knew she had no choice. If she refused, she would be condemned as a murderer. That evening, as the sun set and the village plunged into darkness, Chioma was led to the small hut where Emeka's body lay. The air inside was thick with the stench of death, and the sight of her husband's lifeless body brought tears to her eyes. She knelt beside him, her heart heavy with sorrow and fear. The villagers sealed the hut, leaving her alone with the dead. The first night was torturous. The darkness seemed to close in on her, and every creak and whisper of the wind felt like the approach of something malevolent. Chioma barely slept, her mind racing with memories of her life with Emeka. She whispered prayers to the spirits, begging for protection and justice. As the hours dragged on, she felt a cold presence beside her, as if her husband's spirit lingered, watching, waiting. The second night was even worse. The air grew colder, and strange noises filled the hut, scratching, shuffling, and faint, guttural growls. Chioma's fear mounted as she sensed something unnatural was happening. She clutched a small charm her mother had given her, hoping it would ward off any evil spirits. But no charm could protect her from what was to come. As the third night approached, Chioma felt a sense of dread unlike anything she had ever known. She knew this night would be the true test. The villagers had gathered outside the hut, whispering among themselves, eager to see if she would survive. Inside, Chioma lay down beside Emeka's corpse, her body trembling with fear. As midnight approached, the air grew still. The only sound was the rhythmic beating of Chioma's heart, pounding like a drum in her chest. Suddenly, she felt a hand, cold as ice, grasp her wrist. She gasped, staring in horror as Emeka's body began to move. His eyes, once lifeless, now glowed with an eerie light, and his mouth opened to speak. Chioma, The voice was not his, but a hollow, echoing sound that filled the room. "Why did you betray me?" Chioma screamed, backing away, but there was nowhere to run. The walls of the hut seemed to close in around her as Emika's corpse sat upright, accusing her with its empty gaze. I didn't kill you," Chioma cried, tears streaming down her face. "I loved you, Emika, I would never harm you." But the corpse did not relent. It crawled toward her, its bony fingers reaching out. Desperate, Chioma grabbed the charm around her neck and held it out, shouting, "Spirits of the ancestors, hear me. I am innocent." For a moment, everything went silent. Then, the corpse stopped moving, its eyes dimming. The oppressive cold lifted, and the air grew warm again. Chioma, sobbing, collapsed to the floor, the charm still clutched in her hand. Outside, the villagers heard the commotion and burst into the hut. They found Chioma lying beside Emika's body, her face streaked with tears, but unharmed. The elders, seeing this, declared that she had passed the test. The spirits had spared her, proving her innocence. But the ordeal was not over. As the villagers helped Chioma to her feet, a dark figure appeared at the door. It was Chinidu, his face pale, his eyes wide with fear. He had come to see if his crime would be discovered, but now, faced with Chioma's survival, he knew the truth would come to light. Suddenly, Emika's voice echoed through the hut once more, but this time it was filled with anger. "Chinidu," the voice thundered, "you are the one who betrayed me." The villagers gasped as Chinidu fell to his knees, confessing his crime in a torrent of guilt and fear. He admitted to killing his brother out of jealousy, hoping to claim everything Emika had. The elders, shocked and enraged, ordered that Chinidu be taken away and punished for his crime. As Chinidu was dragged away, he screamed, begging for forgiveness, but there was none to be given. The village had been tainted by his greed and jealousy, and the spirits would not forgive such a betrayal. In the days that followed, Chioma slowly recovered from her ordeal. The villagers, now aware of her innocence, treated her with the utmost respect. But the experience had changed her. She had faced the darkest night of her life and emerged with her spirit intact, but the scars remained. The village elders decreed that Emika be given a proper burial, his body laid to rest with all the rituals and honors due to a great hunter. Chioma watched as the ceremony took place, feeling a sense of peace for the first time since his death. As the village gathered to say their final goodbyes, Chioma stood at the edge of the grave, her son Ifoni by her side. She knew that life would never be the same, but she was determined to carry on, to raise her son with the strength and courage that had seen her through the darkest of times. And as the earth covered Emika's body, Chioma whispered a final prayer, asking the spirits to watch over them all, to keep the darkness at bay, and to ensure that such jealousy and betrayal would never again bring sorrow to their village. But the memory of that fateful night would linger in the hearts of the villagers for generations, a reminder of the power of the spirits and the dangers of envy. And the story of Chioma, the widow who slept with the dead, would be told around firesides, a tale of horror, strength, and the unbreakable bond between the living and the dead.